So welcome again to Southwest Inside View, and today I'm joined by my colleague Sri Lakshmi from Kochi in Kerala. Now she's been following the story of the man-eater tiger in Wayanad that was found dead, and some sort of relief for the people over there because it had killed one woman and created havoc and terror amongst the local population. Sri Lakshmi, welcome to Southwest Inside View.
Thank you, Nolan.
Tell me about this story that you have actually been following, and you have written a few articles on it. What really happened over there? Just give us a gist of what all happened over the past few days.
Actually, we have reports on the man-eater tiger during some days, but the major question is that why Wayanad is always in headline. The number of wild animals increased in Wayanad. The answer is simply yes, the number of wild animals are increased, especially predators like tiger, leopard, and bison. So, addressing this issue without considering this fact will not be effective. So, and also we need to consider the geographical uniqueness of Wayanad. As you know, in Kerala, Wayanad is the only district which borders with both Karnataka and Wayanad, and also it shares boundaries with uh, like Bandipur, Nagahulle, and Mutumale. So obviously, animal movement is high in this area, especially in Wayanad, and especially it's high in during the start of summer. Like these animals faces water and food crisis in those areas. I mean, in Bandipur, in Mutumale, in Nagahulle, and all. So until June, they relocate to Wayanad. So this obviously, like they search for food, and you know the nature of predators. They are very, like, what would say, they have boundaries, or they have the territories. So during this territory fights, they were injured, and it's difficult for them to search for food. So most attacks have happened not inside the forest; it happened in plantation, not inside the forest. Like a public perception is that these locals or these farmers are encroached to forest and they're being attacked by the tiger. That's not the truth. Actually, these attacks have happened inside plantation. Yeah. In recent case also, in
You
Radha's
know, I'm
case
going to
also.
bring this up. I mean, when we discussed this before this recording, those plantations, many of those plantations also were part of the forest. I mean, you're suddenly telling the tiger, now this is a plantation. The people are working over here. No more of forest, or don't enter over here.
I won't say like there is no encroachments are in Wayanad or in Idukki or in any hilly districts, like in any high range. There are encroachments, but these big encroachments are not done by any farmer or any tribal people. These are done by corporates, the big giants. So these women, in case of this Radha, uh, actually in Radha's case, she was collecting the coffee beans in this Priyadarshini estate. The estate name is Priyadarshini Estate. Who owns this estate? It's owned by the tribal community. It's a cooperative society. So this cooperative society is actually formed by the government to rehabilitate the tribal. It's their workplace. It's their workplace. It's not forest or it's not an encroached land. It's their workplace.
Okay. I know you're defending the government over there now, saying that it
No,
is not.
no. I won't defend the government, but I have
Okay.
to defend the farmers and the tribal people because most of the time they have to bear the blame from the public and the media, right?
Okay. So tell me what happened finally. I mean, there was a shoot at sight order that came about, and then ultimately the tiger was actually found dead. What happened?
Actually, it found dead, and it is discovered by the forest officials. We have a team to search for the tiger, and the minister ordered to shoot the tiger at sight. This is first time in history of Kerala that government is ordering or like claiming a tiger as a man-eater. This will harm the people. So this is also first time in history of Kerala. This happened and full street.
You know, I'm also just thinking Kerala, Karnataka, all these states, even Karnataka, that is Karnataka, Goa, they've all junked the Madhav Gadkil report. Then afterwards, a watered down report came about. That is the Kasturi Rangan report. That was also junked by all the state governments as such. Karnataka very recently. Now, I'm just saying again, tigers coming to Wayanad or those areas, you mentioned that it's a particular season that they come over there. But when tigers and elephants keep coming, which means that the health of the forest is good, tigers being there in large numbers is directly proportional that to the health of the forest. There's something really good happening over there. Now, instead of saying, that these are these issues, more tigers are coming over there, can't the government, I'm just asking, can't the government sort of protect animals? I know we have to protect people's rights, but can they shift people away, sort of maybe take more plantation area, give it back to the forest? I'm just wondering. We need a balance. But over here, what I'm hearing and what I'm reading from so many articles, so many reports in Kerala is that we are not going to move. The people are not going to move. You do something about the animals.
Actually,
The balance.
it's not fair to compare Kerala to Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, or any other state in India because we have 62% green cover. Actually, we are carbon, not even carbon neutral, we are carbon negative, like Bhutan. So, the people in Kerala are over concerned about nature. They are preserving the nature, and when you can take some newspaper 10 years ago, so that you can, in local pages, you can find the news of water scarcity and all. Nowadays, it's not there. So we can't compare the global crisis like global warming with the Kerala's population or a 38,000 square kilometer area because 62% we have already a green cover and 29% of virgin forest are here. So how can we say like we are not considering nature and we are not bothered about the what's happening around?
Has
We
the
can't
Kerala
say that.
government accepted the Kasturi Rangan report? Because the
Yes, but
Kasturi Rangan report clearly says there are certain eco-sensitive zones. It's not just from your, these forests have not to be touched because of landslides, because, so and so, but it's not been implemented. Recently, I've just spoken to
right.
a few scientists from the Indian Institute of Science, and they have very clearly mentioned that Kerala included have not focused on these, have not followed any of the reports, what these, like either Madhav Gadgil or Kasturi Rangan, what they have actually asked to follow. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense when you say that this much of forest is there in green cover, but people are still inside there.
Yes,
That's
people
the
are.
confusion.
Yeah, there is the confusion. But the fact is that, like, we can take the example
Mhm.
where we sit. We both in certain metro cities in a concrete building. Yes, and like we talk about people in high ranges being responsible for all these issues. So actually, more than us, they are living in harmony with the nature, with the forest. Actually, general perception is that they encroach the forest. So they have to suffer all these issues and all. So we can just ask the question like, do their children don't need a smart classroom or do they need all the facilities that we are enjoying? How can we say the nature activism in sitting in a metro city and saying like blaming people in high range areas or blaming farmers or
One IFS officer told me, give me an answer to this very question that you put out. He says, if you want these facilities, you have to get out of the forest. We'll give you all the facilities, but out of the forest,
oh,
not
okay,
inside.
okay. Yes, we can, maybe we can relocate the farmers and all from these areas. But what about the tribal people?
Tribal people
Forest is
also.
home, right? How can you relocate a person or a actually if if my ancestors are being from fishing community, how can you say a new generation that you have to shift from the location, you have to preserve the nature, you have to suffer all these to protect this, like what would we call, to make the nature
But Sri
carbon
Lakshmi, times
free
are
or
changing. I mean, we real India as a whole, we had so, the density of forest or forest density was huge. But over a period of time, if you look at it, like Bengaluru, for example, the number of tree cover has fallen. the Western Ghats, I'm talking about from Kerala to Karnataka to Goa, Maharashtra, all those places, the Western Ghats has decreased the forest cover has over a period of not 50 years. I'm talking about from 2000.
But
So we
but it's
have to do
not the case.
something now.
Who, to whom we need to say all these things? Like, like I said, we sit in a privileged space and we talk about they have to relocate, they have to suffer, they don't make like big, huge concrete buildings and all. So it's not actually fair. If an activist or activism side, in practical side, it's not possible.
Okay,
It's
so what
not
is the
really
Kerala
possible.
government planning to do now?
Actually,
What's the
actually,
government
there is
planning to
no
do
proper
to
policy.
yeah.
Actually, there is no proper policy. It needs some master plans. It's actually there are high court orders like the three states have to work uh, together to make a master plan because it's not just Kerala's responsibility to address these issues. Equally, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu is also equally responsible because animals won't know these borders, the state borders. So how can you say the tiger, the man-eater tiger, is from Kerala or like you know?
But Shilakshmi, what can Karnataka and Tamil Nadu do if the tiger is gonna come over there? It likes the forest
That's
environment.
why we choose a government or we have a government, right? The government or the policy makers have to make the policy strong. Like now, Kerala, when we talk about the encroachment and all, we have to consider the 1940s situation in Kerala. There were huge food scarcity in Travancore area. So the government insisted the central Travancore people to migrate to the high range areas, I mean to the high range districts like Wayanad, Idukki or Kannur. Most of the people in Kannur and Wayanad are from Kottayam, Ernakulam, Kollam, Trivandrum areas. You can see the place names similar. There are Kottayam is a district in Central Travancore. You can see the same place name in Malabar area. So the most of the people are almost I think 70,000, more than 70,000 people are migrated during that time. How can we say that they have to relocate from their land? At that time, it was the like it is insisted by the government, not by the people. They won't say like we are going to encroach the forest and we are going to like we're not like any resorts or building any resorts and hotel business. No, they migrated to ensure the food security in the state.
Okay.
Now we said like yeah.
Okay, so I just want to know what's happening there now. So the tiger was found dead. Have protests died down? What's the situation over there now?
Actually, the protest is like now down now.
Hmm.
People are like not fully, but people are cooperating with the authorities right now. But at that time, it was a worse situation. Like many protests happened in many areas. Actually, one more thing I want to add is that why these animals are inventing to this village area, so my living areas, is that I got a chance to attend a climate journalism workshop in Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary a few months back. So at that time, the forest department officials are talked about how their wrong policies, like planting invasive plants in forest, destroyed the forest. There is food scarcity and water scarcity inside the forest, both for the elephants and predators and all. It has happened because of the wrong policies. It is fully the mistake of this. Actually, forest department in Kerala has stopped planting acacia and eucalyptus in forest almost 6 years ago. Over like a few years back, the officials introduced these plants like senna and all to beautify the forest, to make sure the aesthetic beauty of forest. Now we are spending crores to eliminate these plants from the forest.
So these were wrong
These
policies.
are, yes, of course.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So this has been a very lively conversation. And then we can also agree to disagree. But thank you so much for these inputs.
Thank you, Nolan.